welcome back to my channel. Just like we support the orchid with natural fertilizers to help it bloom every 6 months, it's possible to keep the blooming flowers on the flower spike for longer periods. However, there are steps you need to pay attention to while doing this. So, what are they? Let's watch it together. What did we do to produce a flower spike? First, let's watch it. Add a teaspoon of the potato fertilizer we prepared earlier to a container. When preparing this fertilizer, we dried the potato peels and ground them into a powder using a blender. Add a teaspoon of mulberry leaf fertilizer. When preparing this fertilizer, we also dried the collected mulberry leaves and ground them into a powder in the same way. Add half a liter of hot water into this container and mix it well. After it cools down, pour it onto the orchid soil along with the residue. Orchids expend a lot of energy during their blooming period. After the flowers fall, it goes into dormancy. During this resting period, they gather their energy to produce new flower spikes. During these resting periods, we provide our orchid with additional support using these mixtures so that they can produce strong flower spikes. Let the liquid fertilizer you poured on your orchid sit for about 10 minutes. When you look at the root color, the roots will have turned a dark green color. This means they have absorbed the liquid well. Strain the water through a cheesecloth and fill it into a spray bottle. Spray the liquid fertilizer you filled into the spray bottle onto the leaves before 9 a.m. Spray it generously on the air roots as well, especially spray under the leaves. In the early morning, orchids open the pores under their leaves and absorb minerals, along with the morning dew. You should also do this process in nature yourself. Spraying water on the leaves late in the day is not beneficial. Another benefit of applying this process early is that the water dries later on, preventing the leaves from rotting. Apply this process every 2 to 3 days in the summer and at least once a week in the winter. With this care, your orchid will start to produce flower spikes in no time. During this time, make sure your orchid gets fresh air. Put it by the window. Make sure it gets enough light. The sun does not cause any harm during these months. However, in the summer, let it get sunlight through a sheer curtain. In the winter months, it shouldn't be placed too close to very hot radiators. Dry air will reduce its energy. Since it loves humid air, make sure to ventilate its environment from time to time. Since it has started to produce flower spikes, it means it needs more minerals now. That's why we will support this from the outside. For the flowers of the orchid that are about to bloom to stay alive longer, your flower needs to be saturated with nitrogen and potassium. With the application we will do, the flower spike will be more vigorous and the number of buds on it will also increase. However, there are important points to pay attention to in the application we will do. Let's start our process with a tea bag from the teapot you use at home. Use a cup larger than a coffee cup for the tea bag. Put it in and add hot water to it. Wait for it to steep for about 8-10 minutes. Stir the brewed tea. Remove the tea bag and transfer it into 1 liter of water. Then fill the spray bottle that we will use for the application. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, apply it in the morning when it's cool and, especially, focus on the undersides of the leaves. Since the flowers on the flower stems haven't opened yet, you can easily apply it to the buds as well as the roots. One thing you definitely need to pay attention to is that once the flowers start to bloom, you should not let water come into contact with the flower stem and the flowers. When the flowers start to bloom, only apply it to the leaves and the roots. After the flowers have opened, definitely. Do not leave any water in the orchid pot. Excess water will cause the opened flowers to wilt. The composition of tea contains very important minerals for the development of orchids. A large amount of nitrogen, potassium, and other elements will help the orchid grow and keep the blooming flowers on the stem for a longer time. Right now, I can easily water the buds. Do this process once a week in the mornings. When you do this process for 3 weeks, you will see noticeable differences. I see that on some channels, they make liquids from various products, such as fruits and vegetables, and then recommend them as fertilizers for orchids. Ultimately, it's important to provide all plants, including orchids, with the minerals they need when they need them. Otherwise, your plant will develop unhealthy and will eventually die. There are content in the videos on my channel that have yielded positive results. You can apply it in the right measurements with peace of mind. Share this video so that everyone can see it. And leave a comment below. At least write a simple thank you or a suggestion as feedback. If you like the video, please click the like button. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to support my channel. See you in my next videos.